All right. Don't say anything bad.
Okay, I won't say anything bad.
We're starting on a Sunday morning. Lady and the Legend. The sun is out today, Leonard.
It's a nice day,
But
especially when you stay in the house like we do. So let me ask you a question.
wait, there's no sound yet. Do you want to wait?
Yeah.
Okay, we have to wait. We're going to wait for the sound to come through the chat room. That's what we do around here. So, we are getting started. Lady and the Legend, Sunday morning. We're waiting for the sound. We love the interactive chat room. You could join us here 9 days a week. 9 a.m. Eastern.
If it was 9 days a week, we'd be here.
It's 9 days a week, 9 a.m. Eastern. And it really is 7 days a week. So there you have it. 9 a.m. Eastern, Lenny Melnick, fantasysports.com/live. And we just like to wait for the sound to appear in our chat room because we love to talk with our friends. Our very knowledgeable baseball friends are right now deciding about steroid users in the Hall of Fame. And what a joke it's become, I'll tell you that. So I think we should find a new way to elect people into the Hall of Fame. A way that's based on career stats only. We could have a computer decide who gets in the Hall of Fame way better than we do now because these vultures just...
Okay, we don't have sound yet.
You're right. Okay. I'm just talking to you.
Okay.
But I won't do that anymore.
Okay.
There's sound.
Sound now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I said there's sound.
Oh, okay. Welcome aboard, everybody, on a lovely Sunday morning. The sound has arrived. We are still here. Lady and the Legend here on a Sunday morning. So before we continue, let me ask you a question, Andy. Do you want to be the lady today or the legend?
Do I have to be one?
You have to be either the lady or the legend. Which one you want to be?
I'll be the lady.
You'll be the lady. Okay, what a big chat. Oh, look at the chat room. Chris from Cambridge, Chris from Gallo, George Hushman, Leonard Donaldson, Malpal, Rotorius, SM King Turd, Tommy Johnson, Boston Paul. Look out. The chat room is loaded. And how are you today, Andy?
We're good.
Happy to hear that. I just want to make an announcement that according to the mayor of San Francisco, his name is London Breed.
That's a woman.
Oh, her name is London Breed, okay? She
loser.
Officially proclaimed today as Willie Mays Day. Yes, it's the 24th. It is the 24th?
Today is the 4th.
It's the 4th.
Of February.
So why are they doing it today? Anyway, Willie Mays Day. Now, I'm going to give you the greatest baseball call in the history of baseball. It was done by Les Kiter. When the Giants moved out to San Francisco, Les Kiter broadcasted games back to New York. And this was one of his calls. Are you ready?
Yes.
There's a base hit to center field. Snyder up with the ball. Mays rounds third, heads for home. It's Mays the ball. Mays the ball. Mays the ball. He beat the ball. He beat the ball. That is the greatest home run, the greatest call in the history of baseball. Les Kiter.
What about the other one that's so famous?
What?
The other call that was so famous.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, good grief. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
He beat the ball. He beat the ball. Willie Mays, arguably the greatest player I have ever seen. You know, and I grew up in an era where you had Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, and Duke Snyder all playing against each other. I mean, I know, you know, Mays was the National League, Snyder was National League, the American League was Mickey, but still, in New York, to grow up with Mays, Mantle, and Snyder, unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. When you asked me who my favorite player I've ever seen was, I was feeling kind of gypped because I thought, man, in my day, I was born in 75, so all those great players that are historical, They were before my time, so.
Well, Big Papi,
You see whose birthday it is? Okay, Chris
triple-
from Cambridge is very persistent that you say his name today.
Who? Rusty Coons? What do you think his name was? His name is Rusty Coons. Don't kid yourself. I'm not saying it, okay, asshole.
Is that true? Is that his name?
Yeah, it's Coons.
Well, you never pronounced it like that before.
I always did. Always respected the Coons.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the story of Willie Mays Day.
And Rusty Coons' 70th birthday, 72, I think.
Rusty
All right.
Coons.
So Leonard Donaldson is here. And
Triple Play is here. We're all here. And let's see, somebody else.
And Tommy Johnson. Daniel is here, the Hulkster. And George. Hello to George.
That's it, Daniel
And
Ferrara.
Debbie and Chris Gallo.
Okay.
And Mal Palantina.
We are rocking
and
and
Turd.
roll.
Mrs. Turd, the whole family of turds.
Fangraphs predicted the final 2024 divisional standings based on projected winning percentages.
Was this before or after the Corbin Burns trade?
I probably
because it has the rate. It has. I'm sorry. I should let you finish what you were telling us.
It was probably before, but we're not going to go over all
So they
of them.
ranked. They predicted the divisional standings at Fangraphs, and they projected.
Well, in the American League East, they got the Yankees, so it was before the Orioles made their trade. So if that's
do you think the Orioles just moved into first now?
I think so.
I do too.
I
was surprised they were already listed behind the Rays, which I understand why. The Rays are always good, but what about the Blue Jays?
I think Toronto is. See, here's the thing:
the poor Red Sox.
There's still room for the Blue Jays to make a play. With all the free agents that are left, the Toronto Blue Jays can still sneak in and make a play. They can get Cody Bellinger. They can get, let's say, at second base. Jonathan Scope is still there. At shortstop, you got Ahmad Rosario, Tim Anderson. Third base, you got Matt Chapman. Wow, Evan Longoria. They can still get Adam Duvall in the out. So, look, they can still make a big run at it, and I don't think the spring training is over yet.
Spring training hasn't even started yet.
That's why it's not over yet.
So, Shintaro Fujinami. Okay, remember this guy? First of all, he was so bad when he came, and he was with the Athletics. I was wondering, I forgot which team. Anyway, he was with the Athletics. This guy was so bad that they kicked him out of the starting spot in the rotation and put him in the bullpen, and he was a lot better in the bullpen. When he moved to Baltimore, I was like, oh gosh, what were they thinking? But he actually started with the Orioles fairly good too. This guy had such a bad record as a starter. He still finished the season. After he went to Baltimore, he pitched to a 4.85 ERA in the bullpen. I actually thought he did better than that once he made it to Baltimore, but that was a little surprising for me. He throws 98-plus mile-an-hour fastball, right? He strikes out an okay amount, but when he walks so many, it just cancels all the goodness out. He walks 5.1 batters per 9 innings. Fujinami signed with the Mets.
The Mets.
I'm waiting for the Mets, please, to do something. They're close to competing, you know that. I know it sounds stupid to say that, but believe me, they're close to competing, okay? So, right now, they're competing with Washington for the last place in the division, okay?
Well, I got to give the Mets a little bit more credit than just competing with Washington.
They're going to compete with Miami?
Although it could. This kid, the catcher, Francisco Alvarez, yes, he's ready to play. And he's going to hit you 25 home
Pete
runs.
Alonso, he's a good given.
But they got Jeff McNeil.
Okay, maybe he'll do something.
And Francisco Lindor.
Right.
The big thing is Starling Marte, who's been injured every year. How long can he still play? I'm looking at this Mets team, and I'm saying this is a transition year for Mark Vientos, Brett Batty, Even Brandon Nimmo all of a sudden is being named as an all-star.
He's a leadoff batter. Don't forget about Brandon Nimmo. Look, the outfield position is very shallow this year. I can't say it enough. I know I say it every day, so I'll stop now. But they do also have Joey Wendell for the Mets. And you know he plays all over the infield. The guy could steal a couple bases and hit a couple home runs.
You can't be a competitive team
with Joey Wendell?
No. Yes, you can with Joey Wendell, but you can't with the Mets pitching staff. Is there anybody on the Mets pitching staff who you would take?
Well, yeah. First
Anybody
of all,
who you
absolutely would take Kodai Senga. I have no problem with him. I think he's going to be just as good as he was last year. And Luis Severino really has my head turning because he's worked so hard on...
Oh, he's not that good. Come on.
You don't know that. You've seen him be good. You know what Chandler says. Once they show talent, they have it. And Severino's problem is tipping his pitches. They've worked all off season. The pitching coach with the Mets has worked with him on that. They figure that he's worked very hard, okay? And if that means anything at all, I know every player says they worked hard, but I've been reading about him all off season. Several of the athletic writers talked about him and went into the club, the pitching coach, talked to him, talked to Severino. I like him at his draft price. I mean, you have to pay attention to how much he's costing, but he's worth absolutely a few bucks. Okay? He's worth a few bucks. They need one more pitcher to be relevant. Okay. They need Montgomery. They need Bauer. They need Snell. They need somebody.
But they have 7 starters when you take a look at Tyler McGill and Joey Lucchesi.
Tyler McGill stinks.
They all stink. They have 7 mediocre pitchers. Okay? It adds up to mediocrity, and I don't think you can win this division with total mediocrity, okay?
Oh, yes. Triple Play says, don't stop pounding it in. The outfield is so shallow. Yeah. We also have Mitchell Hartson, who says that Corbin Burns will profit from the extended left field wall at Camden Yards. Did he have a trouble with homers to begin with? I'm not sure. As was pointed out by Rotorius, I believe. Yes. Yeah, Todd Zola showed his projections of Corbin Burns before and after the trade. He did project Corbin Burns to get more wins and a better ERA in Baltimore, but did say that his strikeouts would go down. Now, this is a projection.
How do you predict strikeouts to go down?
I'm not really sure, but he also did mention that clearly he's going to have more run support with the Orioles. Okay, he's got a better ballpark.
That you could
say. For sure. But that's just coming from Todd Zola. He, it's not somebody you just brush off like he doesn't know anything.
And I'm going to give the Brewers some credit now, okay? Even though they traded Corbin.
Go ahead, because it's the only time today we're doing it.
Well, no, I think the Brewers did a great thing for baseball. And the great thing, people still can't figure it out, but they picked up Rhys Hoskins and they traded Corbin Burns. And you say, well, wait a second. How do you pick up a first baseman like that to help you win and then you trade your best pitcher? Because this and other deals, they still want to be competitive. So they traded away Burns. They got substantial money, and they used it for Rhys Hoskins and other players. So I give Milwaukee a lot of credit for, look, they had to trade Hoskins, otherwise they'd be stuck with him.
Burns.
They had to trade Burns.
They didn't have to. They signed a 1-year deal with him. He makes like $35 million or 50. I can't remember the number that he makes, so forgive me. I shouldn't have brought it up. I can't remember. But he already talked about exploring the free agent market. So they have him for 1 year. He was pretty much... If they didn't trade him before the deadline, they weren't going to get anything out of him. They got rid of the contract as well, so they just basically gave away the contract. They got a couple of youngsters we're going to talk about a little bit in the show today, but I don't think it was that bad for Milwaukee. Not the way everybody's like, oh, Corbin Burns, best pitcher. Then they get these 2 guys, they're youngsters, DL Hall and Joey Ortiz.
That's right. Hall's going to be a pretty good starter. He was a relief pitcher. They're bringing him back into the rotation. Ortiz is a terrific defensive third baseman, but we'll see. And then what about the White Sox? Man, the White Sox, Daniel Ferrari and I love the White Sox, and it was a busy day. 2 trades, but here's the scoop. None of the trades involved Dylan Cease.
Oh,
Right?
here. I put the numbers in my notes here.
Yeah.
Corbin Burns, $15 million. Rhys Hoskins, they signed for about $15 million a year.
Right.
Well, Joey Ortiz. Okay, wait. You're skipping around here. I have.
Well,
you said it was a busy day for the White Sox with 2 trades.
All right, so do Joey Ortiz.
No,
go ahead.
I'm talking about Dominic Fletcher now. They got Dominic Fletcher. Okay, who can't hit lefties, but he is the most fantasy relevant of the 3 of Gavin Sheets, Dominic Fletcher, and Oscar Colas, who's probably going to start the season in the minor leagues. You remember there was a lot of hype on this Oscar Colas. He's a lefty, but he can't hit lefties. And neither can Dominic Fletcher and neither can Gavin Sheets. But as of now, Dominic Fletcher does seem to be the starting right fielder, even though he's capable of playing left and center too. Dominic Fletcher, ADP not even existed. And by the way, this is one of those situations where if you're in a really deep league, a mixed league, an only league, he is going to get playing time. There aren't that many lefties, so you don't have to worry about him being on a short end of the platoon. And his batting average is actually really good. He hits great against right-handed pitching. He also hit 10 homers at AAA Reno in 66 games. So if you think of that, if you even that out to 150 games, he would hit 30 homers. The guy has power. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, depending on where he hits in the order, the White Sox is so bad that whatever.
Well, as Andy said, he's got an early advantage over Gavin Sheets in the competition for the White Sox starting right field job. With so many players changing yesterday for the White Sox, you might lose track. Some of these are pretty good players, okay?
So you got Joey Ortiz for the Brewers. He's a candidate to get double-digit steals and double-digit homers. He will not hurt your batting average. His current ADP is $595, and he will probably hit at the bottom of the lineup. You know, the Milwaukee Brewers are an especially young team over here. They have a crowded outfield, and they have now a crowded infield. He should see regular playing time at third base, but he only enters the season qualified at second base, so he will be middle and corner eligible after he plays some. Maybe third base.
Maybe third base.
Maybe.
Okay.
I think so.
You know, in addition to the Diamondbacks trading Fletcher to the White Sox, Christian Mena was part of the deal. Diamondbacks traded Fletcher to the White Sox in exchange for Christian Mena, okay, and Fletcher. I got to tell you.
Wait.
What?
Fletcher went to the White Sox.
Yeah, Diamondbacks traded Fletcher to the White Sox on Saturday.
The White Sox...
It's very confusing.
Okay.
In exchange for Christian Mena.
The Arizona outfield was crowded before they got rid of Fletcher. Okay, now they have Alec Thomas, who seems to be this... now he is going to play center field. Okay, he's good defensively, but he doesn't also hit lefties. He wound up hitting .245 with a .282 on base percentage, 7 home runs and 6 stolen bases over his final 86 games. So he finished the season strong. He's projected at RotoWire .261 average, 12 home runs, 10 steals, and it depends on where he hits in the lineup, but his ADP is 328. I could probably find some better. Here's the deal. 328 is not being drafted except for very deep leagues. Mm-hmm. He is going to get the starting job, so if that's what you're looking for at that point in the draft, I don't blame you.
Hey, Jeremy Gibbs is here. Good morning, Jeremy Gibbs.
Good morning, Jeremy Gibbs.
Morning to
Great
Jeremy
to
Gibbs from the great state of St. Louis.
Good morning. All right. So, now do you still have this?
Have what? Yes, I do.
Where is it?
I have it.
Okay, it's at the top.
I have everything.
So, Lenny, I'm going to share this in the chat room.
Yeah. No, you don't have to share it in the chat room. Just go over. We're not going to cover every player.
Okay, I just want to show them.
Go ahead.
Let me just post it in
All
there.
right,
we're going to talk about a couple of these guys.
Okay. going to
So
talk about, and especially Ellie De La Cruz.
What do you think of Ellie? Go ahead.
Ellie came up and did something I have never seen another player make such an impact in his first couple of weeks in Major League Baseball. Can anybody in the chat room remind me of a player who was brought up, who had such a great first couple of weeks? Okay, he had a second half slump. They dropped him in the order, but his legs, wow,
yeah,
unbelievable. His 30, he had 35 stolen bases over what? Over 95 games. So I got to tell you, he only batted to 6'5", and this kid could be, if he puts it all together, this kid could be a superstar. So let me ask you a question.
No, let me ask you a question.
No, let me ask you a question. You're the lady, I'm the legend.
His ADP is 21.
That's...
Now what do you think?
Well, in my opinion, you can't draft a player that high as a rookie. Because of the old saying, a rookie is a rookie is a rookie, right? And
in the final 50 games...
Yes.
He stole 18 bases, but he batted 199 with a 285 on-base percentage. He did get moved to the bottom of the batting order. He still hit 25 homers and stole 46 bases in 136 games between AAA and the majors at the young age of 21. But the downside potential on this guy, right? The ceiling, oh yeah, it's huge, but this is a risky 21st pick. I will tell you that there are a few risky early picks like this. Of course, people are going to get him at that. That's what the market is saying he's worth. They're projecting him a 249 average, 20 homers, 40 stolen bases, and I think he could probably even hit more than 20 homers. If he gets back up in the order, he's a dream come true. I mean, he's better. He's as good
Hold it. You're a dream come true.
So the next guy on the list that we're going to talk about is Jordan Walker. Because Malpel and I will absolutely be talking about Hunter Brown when we do our pitching podcast in the next couple weeks. So that's getting closer. Jordan Walker, St. Louis Cardinals, 21 years old. Last year, 276 average, 16 homers, 7 stolen bases. He was very, very good early. Okay, yes. He was the shiny new toy of the rookies last year. Everybody was expecting him to be the next Julio Rodriguez. Okay, but even Brandon Marsh out-earned Jordan Walker in fantasy value.
Yes, he did. Now let's just ask you a question. Let's go back to De La Cruz. How much are you paying for De La Cruz? How much should we pay for De La Cruz?
$30.
I think
that's high, though. That's even high.
I think he could go for $30.
He's going to go for that at least.
I think he's going to go for that. Yeah, and I don't think I would stay away from. De La Cruz. I would pay a price that you can't get him for.
Yes,
and that would be about $25.
Right.
24.
And what round would you draft him in?
Your rounds are hard to justify. Maybe round 2 or 3. But
that's early.
He solidifies your stolen bases. But I would pay 24. You're not going to get him. He's going to cost you 30, probably 31. Let's get back to Walker.
Turk says Ellie is more durable Mondesi, but we don't know that yet. If Ellie is durable, he steals a lot of bases no matter what. Anyway, Jordan Walker. 101 ADP. Are you in at 101 ADP, or you better have your damn outfield attended to by then?
Well, his last 27 games of the season, he went hitless 5 times. So he ended the season okay. He batted .304 from the start of September onward. He didn't live up to expectations. This guy, at the beginning, before he came up, he was really talked about in a whole different way. Walker, okay?
Jordan
His
Walker.
Defense in right field remains a little bit of a problem, but he should be penciled in to a starting role again this year in St. Louis.
All right. Yes, I agree. And did I tell you that what his projections are? 19 homers, 63 RBIs, 73 runs, and 12 stolen bases. His batting average is pretty darn good, 288. But he had a horrible he had a horrible couple of months. So the fact that he finished the season with a 276 batting average is crazy to begin with, because a couple of those months were so bad that it's amazing he was able to finish that high.
Okay, we're talking about players who could emerge this year. These are, what do you want to call them? What are these players?
Yeah, go ahead. Breakout stars.
These are,
no, wait.
These are break. You can't count a rookie as a breakout guy.
Second-year players poised for a leap.
Yeah, second-year players poised for a leap.
I definitely put Anthony Volpe on my list.
Yes,
where did it go?
He's on your list. He's 22. He's a shortstop, and you're going to be able to see him in New York. I'll tell you that. And his big deal, he stole 24 bases last year.
Why do you have him? Okay, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So I'll tell you something. Volpe, he can hit home runs, he can steal bases, but some of the people that I spoke to are not convinced. His 21 homers in 24 years helped prop up his fantasy value. His defense kept him useful, okay? Even when he wasn't hitting, they still kept him in the lineup. And
I love Anthony Volpe for this year,
yep.
Okay? And I love him mostly because of where he's being drafted. He is going to get an opportunity just like he did last year. He's 142 ADP. That's an excellent price for a guy that's going to hit 25 homers and steal 30 bases. Plus, if he can prove that he can bat better than 209 like he did last year, he might move up in the order a little bit, and he will be able to score many more runs and get RBIs too, because he's one tool short of 5 tools, which is the batting average part. So he's a little flaky in batting average, but he's only 22 years old. I'm telling you, shortstop is a position to wait a little while. Don't wait past Thairo Estrada at shortstop. If he goes, you're done. You better have your shortstop filled up by then, because after Thairo Estrada in your draft, it goes to Nothingville. So Anthony Volpe, a great, decent price for him. There's another kid on the list here that is Joey Wiemer. Joey Wiemer, okay, let's see. Milwaukee.
Yes. In
the crowded outfield of Milwaukee. So he wasn't going to make the opening day roster last year until Luis Urias got hurt on opening day. So they called him up, and he operated as the everyday center fielder for 4 months. In June, he had an 848 OPS with 6 home runs. The problem with Wiemer is that he strikes out 28.3% of the time, but he's still going to get in the lineup because his defense is his best asset to the team. 546 ADP with Joey Wiemer. Now, here's the other thing with Joey Wiemer. You got Sal Frelick in the mix. I mentioned earlier the problem with the Milwaukee Brewers outfield is crowded as could be. They got
Absolutely.
Jackson Churio. Also, we're talking about Joey Wiemer as a poised for a leap, but what about Sal Frelick? I also looked up Sal Frelick, whose ADP is a lot higher, but 302. And at this moment, we don't know for sure if this is how it's going to pan out, but I could tell you that Sal Frelick has a lot better plate discipline than his buddy Joey Wiemer. He only strikes out 16% of the time, and he walks 12.6% of the time. He also has great defense. His 6 DRS, defensive runs saved, which makes me think he's going to beat this Joey Wiemer out for the starting right fielder job, okay? So I like Sal Frelick at ADP 302. He is projected by RotoWire to hit 272 with 8 home runs, 19 stolen bases, and depending on where he hits in the lineup, he will get you the RBIs, but mostly runs.
Many people just think that Christian Yelich will be traded by this team, okay? With the signing of Rhys Hoskins, does that tell you that they want to keep Christian Yelich now and build a team in the next couple of years to be competitive?
according to the depth charts, Christian Yelich is not a starting outfielder. So where are they going to put him?
He has to be a starting outfielder.
He's not.
Christian Yelich is a starting outfielder.
Garrett Mitchell is listed.
I think, no, Christian Yelich is starting outfielder.
Okay, all right. Well, they have to pay him, so they're definitely going to get him in the lineup. They have to
pay him. He's still one of the best players in the league, and I think
I don't know. He could come back. Like I said earlier, he's proven that he has skills. I don't really know where they went, but at least he just hits the ball on the ground too much. Is that still his problem? Because it was last year.
Exactly. But Christian Yelich this year could hit around 270 with 20 homers and 20 stolen bases.
Let's see what his launch angle is.
What's wrong with that? He's 32. He was in a 2-year funk, but he could break out of it. He could hit you 20 home runs.
A 2-year funk? Yeah. I would say more like 10-year funk.
No, just 2 years, okay?
Let's see. His launch angle? Oh, good grief.
What?
You're kidding me. Am I on the right player? Hold on a minute. This I've never seen. His freaking launch angle, dude, is 3%.
Yeah, he's...
Or 3 degrees.
Yeah, 3 degrees.
What in the hell? Nobody is going to hit home runs with a 3-degree launch angle. 3.5 angle launch. That's horrible.
That's horrible.
The best launch angle is like 12.4 degrees.
I'll tell you what's not horrible. That's the fantastic chat room.
Oh my gosh, Christian Yelich. What is his problem? He can't hit the ball up in the air?
I have a feeling he's gonna rebound this year.
How?
And even though they traded...
First of all, he's too old to steal bases. If he can't hit the ball out of the park, what is he good for?
Wouldn't it be a surprise to trade your best pitcher?
Malpal says he earned $26 last year.
Yeah, Christian Yelich was a good player, and he could even be better. They could be a surprise team after trading your best pitcher because they could still come around and be very competitive.
Hey, look at what he did last year. 19 homers.
Yep.
28 stolen bases. He's not going to steal that many bases anymore.
No, maybe not.
278 batting average. That's great.
I think
76 RBIs.
Yep,
ADP 71. No, thank you. It will be a hard pass for me.
I think they're going to have a good team. Now, what about... you want to continue?
No, I did everybody I wanted to talk about in there.
Okay.
Phil Maton.
Yeah, Phil Maton.
Signed a contract with the Rays.
Yeah.
Last year was his best season to date. 3 ERA, a 112 whip, 74 strikeouts, 25 walks, and 66 innings with the Houston Astros. I don't see this guy getting a lot of save chances with Pete Fairbanks and Jason Adam there.
Oh, so who's Pete Fairbanks and who's Jason Adams? This guy could, I mean, when I say could, I mean could. You're talking about a guy who's very capable of getting you 10 to 15 saves, and his cost would be about $2 or $3.
He's not a closer.
He is a closer.
Okay, in the last 4 years, he's successfully saved 1 time, and he has blown 8 times.
Okay,
8 blown saves, 1 successful save in the last 4 years.
Say hello to Maine Nick and Boston
Good morning
Paul.
to Maine Nick.
Okay.
And Boston Paul.
Okay.
Glad to see you're in the chat room again and feeling better.
Yes, that's right. Boston Paul recovering from COVID. Okay, there you go. And Bobby Kleinow.
Is he here?
Had a baby.
Oh, my goodness. I just
want to congratulate Bobby
Kleinow adds to the best family in the country.
That's it. Come into the chat
Seriously.
room, even with your new son, okay?
Is it a boy? He's got a new boy?
It doesn't matter, does it?
Okay. This family is the best.
Okay.
I can't just be more happy to know. I didn't even know Crystal was pregnant.
I didn't even know her name was Crystal.
This is a great family here.
Okay. Next case.
All right. So next thing we talk about, we're done with Phil Maton.
We're done with Phil Maton. Anything you want to talk about Walker Buehler?
Yeah, I want to talk about Santos. Gregory Santos to the Mariners.
Very interesting. Gregory Santos, yes.
Traded to the Mariners from the White Sox. Now you look at this situation over here with the Seattle Mariners. Let's see. He projects as a middle reliever because the Seattle has a deep bullpen. He posted a 3.39 ERA, a 1.30 whip, struck out 66 in 66 innings. He also recorded 5 saves, but I do think he will get some saves, okay? Also, you talk about this Prelander Baroa that they traded to the White Sox. He will get some saves, in my opinion.
Yes.
He's sitting behind John Brebbia and Tanner Banks for the closing job, but first of all, this guy is someone to watch in spring. He's only 23 years old. Prelander Baroa. He cannot, as quoted by someone I follow on X, he can't hit the large side of a barn, the broad side. He can't hit the broad side of the barn. He walks so many batters. He just walks. He actually made 2 appearances last year in the majors. He walked 3 over 2/3 of an inning, even though it was a scoreless inning. He needs to improve his control. And then the reason that I say this guy could get saves is because Brebbia is a 34-year-old.
He's not going to get saves.
Yes, he is.
Not going to get
I
saves.
do think...
I don't know who, but it's not going to be Burby.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, they got junk over there for the
By
White
the way, they
Sox.
traded
So, I'll tell you.
Santos at the end of the season, but he was on the injured list with the right elbow inflammation.
The Diamondbacks,
Remember that.
okay, I
Okay.
gotcha.
Okay?
Anyway, I do think he gets a chance at saves going back to Baroa because there's absolutely nothing worth having over there as a closer. We'll see what happens. He really needs to get his... He doesn't have good command at all. So that's what I got. That's it. Kershaw returned to the mound at least August, even though everything's going.
That's what
right?
they're talking about now. They're talking about a possibility, and it's a good possibility, that Clayton Kershaw will be coming back in August. His return to the mound, he's not expected to pitch in the majors until at least August. So what do you do about Kershaw?
I do think he'll be back in August.
Okay, but do you make an investment in Kershaw?
No.
It's only a couple of dollars, all right? What about if you
Manny? What about Manny? I might have Manny on some teams this year. Do you want to know why? His ADP is 57.
Okay, go ahead. Manny Machado.
Manny Machado. The management over there is saying that he's on track. He's been tearing it up this offseason, getting ready to come back. Also, he did mention that he might be the DH to start the season, which doesn't bother fantasy managers at all because we don't care if he plays third or hits home runs from the DH spot.
Right.
But they said, the manager said that he's on his way back. He should be ready to at least hit during spring, and then he might take a while to get back into third base. But Manny Machado, I might finally get to have Manny on my team. He always gets stolen from me way too early. So anyway, he's ranked 40th overall, 57 ADP. How much did Manny earn last year? It was a horrible year. He still hit 30 home runs. He still drove in 91 and scored 75 times. He even stole a few bases still. So what do we think? Next year, I think his batting average is going to go up. I think he'll hit another 35 homers. He'll get... I mean, that team is so bad. They don't even have half their outfield, dude. Literally, look at the Padres' outfield. It's so bad. You can ask Malpal. I'm sure he'll have a ton to say about it. But you got the Padres over there just doing nothing. And the Padres' Twitter is crazy. These people want to... It's like the Angels' Twitter. They just really want to be happy for their team. But they're just living in dreamland thinking that they're any good.
A couple of other things. The Dodgers signed Dinelson Lamet to a
Yes,
minor
what
league
about
deal.
Lamet?
It was pretty good during the COVID season of 220.
Yes.
But, he's just somebody to watch out for. And, Dave Roberts, the manager, revealed the top 3 of his lineup to the fans at the Fan Fest. Listen to this. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani. Any problem with any of those guys?
Not at all.
Mookie Betts.
And
all right.
the fans loved it.
Yep.
So what else do we got? Is that it?
I think that should do it for today. Okay. And
Now let's see, tomorrow?
Walker Buehler.
Yes, he's
according
coming
to
back.
Brandon Gomes, said Walker Buehler is not a candidate to start the season on the 60-day injury list. He'll be...
What would he be?
He'll be slow played. And likely start the season late, but not that late. Buehler has looked good.
How How in the world is this guy still coming back from Tommy John surgery?
Well,
It doesn't make sense. Did he have some kind of setback? Because good grief, this guy. He pitched 65 innings in 2022 before he needed surgery. Now it's 2024 now. So I don't know what we're slow playing this issue. How come he's not? What's taking so long?
I don't know, but let me just say thank you to everybody. Mitchell and Merrill are
I'll
here.
take him at ADP 93.
Chris from Cambridge, and all these people got here early today. Daniel Ferrara, Chris from Cambridge, Laura, Leonard Donaldson, Maine Nick, Mal Pal, Mitchell, Merrill, Rotorius, SM King Turd, Triple Play, Boston Paul. Are you kidding me? We love you people, and we thank you.
And congratulations to Bobby Kleinow and his wonderful growing family.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m., everybody. Thank you so much for being here.